As the master talked of samadhi, he himself went into that state. His face radiated a heavenly light. Bereft of outer consciousness, he could not utter another word. His gaze was indrawn and transfixed in communion with the self. After a long time, the master began to recognize the world around him and said, like a child, "I shall have a drink of water." Whenever after the samadhi the master asked for a drink of water, his devotees knew that he was gradually becoming conscious of the outer world. Still lingering in the state of ecstasy, he said to the Divine Mother, "O Mother, the other day you showed me Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Then I told you that I should like to see another Pandit. And so you have brought me here." Looking at the Pandit, he said, "My child, add a little more to your strength. Practice spiritual discipline a few days more. You have hardly set your foot on the tree. Yet, you expect to lay hold of a big cluster of fruit. But of course, you are doing all this for the welfare of others." With these words, he bowed his head before the Pandit. The master continued, "When I first heard about you, I inquired whether you were merely erudite or whether you had discrimination and renunciation. A Pandit who doesn't know how to discriminate between the real and the unreal is no Pandit at all. There is no harm in teaching others if the preacher has a commission from the Lord. Nobody can confound a preacher who teaches people after having received the command of God. Getting a ray of light from the goddess of learning, a man becomes so powerful that before him big scholars seem mere earthworms. When the lamp is lighted, the moths come in swarms. They don't have to be invited. In the same way, the preacher who has a commission from God need not invite people to hear him. He doesn't have to announce the time of his lectures. He possesses such irresistible attraction that people come to him of their own accord. People of all classes, even kings and aristocrats, gather around him. They say to him, "Revered sir, what can we offer you? Here are mangoes, sweets, money, shawls and other things. What will you be pleased to accept?" In that case, I say to them, "Go away. I don't care for these. I don't want anything." Does the magnet say to the iron, "Come near me"? That is not necessary. Because of the attraction of the magnet, the iron rushes to it. Such a preacher may not be a scholarly person, but don't conclude from that he has any lack of wisdom. Does book learning make one wise? He who has a commission from God never runs short of wisdom. That wisdom comes from God. It is inexhaustible. At Kamarpukur, I have seen people measuring grain. It lies in a heap. One man keeps pushing grain from the heap towards another man, who weighs it on a scale. So the man who weighs doesn't run short of grain. It is the same with the preacher who has received a commission from God. As he teaches people, the Divine Mother herself supplies him with fresh knowledge from behind. That knowledge never comes to an end. Can a preacher ever lack knowledge if but once he is favored with a benign glance from the Divine Mother? Therefore I ask you, whether you have received any commission from God. Hazra: Oh yes, he must have it. To the Pundit: Isn't it true, sir? Pundit: Commission? No, sir. I am afraid I haven't received any such thing. Host: He may not have received the commission, but he preaches from a sense of duty.